Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Louis and George podcast.
I am Louis.
I'm George, and today we're going to be talking Hollywood.
Yes.
The whole inspiration for this podcast started from you because you wanted to bitch on the newest Gladiator movie, and whoever listens to this podcast knows we're like the biggest fans of like the Roman Empire. Yeah. So we're going to be shitting on that. But first of all, cheers, man. The tradition. Cheers, everybody.
Another one bites the dust.
So I haven't seen the movie, but you've been already in the cinemas.
I am angry, man.
Why are you angry, man? Come on.
It could be because the original Gladiator is so awesome, so epic, and this one, it's so crap.
Really?
It's bad.
What was bad about it?
Okay, so there's cool fights, cool sword swinging. That's okay, that's fine, but the dialogues are shit. The story is ridiculous. It's like a Turkish soap opera. Almost this thing.
Like for the people in America who don't know, in Europe we have the Turkish soap operas and not the telenovelas.
Yes,
but
in the
more or
US
less
they have
the same.
a lot of Latin American telenovelas, and it's all this dramatic, and it turns out that you are the father. It's almost that. Not exactly, but almost that. The CGI is not that great. Some things are so over the top that they want to make it like extreme. It's not great. Even the music, god damn it, the music is okay. I'm gonna say it. The music is the same as the music from the last movie, which is really cool. It's really nice, the music from the last movie, but holy shit, this is a new movie. Make a new score.
Do they do the song like of the Gladiator coming? Da, 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 da. I'm super bad with music.
Almost there. You know this woman.
Oh really? Are you good? That's a cool. That song is perfect.
It's a great song, but it's a new movie. Come on, I mean, Ridley, spend a bit more cash.
I know.
Call Hans Zimmer.
Ridley wants to cash up. He did was it Ridley Scott that did the Napoleon movie last year?
Also, yeah.
Yeah, that was also historically pretty bad.
Oh, well, historically it's catastrophic, and I'm kind of a freak from the Roman Empire, and it's I'm going to say some elements of it. I don't know if I'm going to spoil it completely, but some element. It's in the times of Caracalla and Geta. And Caracalla and Geta, yes, for sure, they were assholes, but they were not silly, ridiculous people. And the emperors in this movie, they're goofy. They're so over the top, insane, crazy, and everything that it's almost kind of goofy.
Did we have some Asian blacks there just for diversity?
Oh, we have the whole mix. It's
like everybody knows the Roman Empire was widely diverse.
It's the whole mix. Actually, well, a weird thing. The emperors, Geta and Caracalla, they are like blonde white guys. The originals were their father, Septimus Severus. He was dark skinned, so they should be a little bit dark skinned actually.
But wait,
so they're actually fucking them up.
So I saw from the movie the roster of actors. It's amazing. We have Pedro Pascal, Denzel Washington. Who else are from the famous guys over there?
I mean, Paul Mescal is not that famous, but I think he's an epic actor. Actually, he's the main gladiator character.
Okay. So what is the story? This is gonna be spoiler alert. I haven't seen it yet either, so I want to know: is this like a remake of the Gladiator, or what happens?
No, it's a sequel. So spoilers are coming now.
So whoever wants skips a couple of minutes and then the spoilers are over.
So we're following the story of this guy who he's in the North African Numidian army, and he's kind of awesome in every way. But they lose a battle against the Romans. They take him to Rome. He becomes a slave. Now he's a gladiator. But it turns out he's all the time the son of Lucilla, which was the emperor in the time of the previous movie. There was Commodus, was the emperor, the bad guy. And Lucilla, the sister. So he's the son of her and Maximus, of course.
Oh, so the guy actually ends up being his son. It's so like not the son of Lucio Vero.
Exactly. He's not the son of... they mentioned in the previous movie Lucio Vero. Yeah. No, he's actually the son of Maximus. And it's like all of this. This is the part where I'm saying it is a bit soap opera-y, you know. And we follow the story of this guy. Pedro Pascal is this renowned general who is also plotting. Like the movie, it's almost the same movie as the previous one. Only that now some characters are a bit broken in parts. Like there was Maximus in the previous movie. You could say that Pedro Pascal and Paul Mescal do the same role as Maximus, but split in two. One is the stoic general who fights for honor and is thinking on overthrowing the emperors because they suck. and the other is the also gladiator who is honorable and awesome in every way. But god damn it, man, it's just the whole connection with the mom and Maximus. By the way, dates, they fucked them up also, but they have to fuck them up because of the story. The movie starts 16 years after Marcus Aurelius, the death of Marcus Aurelius.
But wait a second, if the dude was like 10 in the first movie, the kid, now he's like 26.
Yes, and that's why they need to do the 16-year game, because Caracalla and Geta are like 30 years after Marcus Aurelius or something like that. So yeah, he would be in his 50s then, the gladiator, and it would make no sense. That's the thing. Of course, let's talk the classical thing. And actually, I'm not against this. Denzel Washington is also a famous figure for the Roman Empire called Macrinus. Now, Macrinus was from North Africa, so we can say, okay, he could be black. He wasn't, but he could be a bit dark-skinned. But he does a pretty good role, actually. So I enjoy him more than anybody else in the movie. So I'm like, yeah, no, that's okay for me.
But well, like changing the historical facts, it's not bad because, for example, in my opinion, the greatest one to do this for the purpose of making a cool story and a cool movie, it's Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, yeah.
Because like once upon a time in Hollywood, he switches a little bit the historical truth to make this epic end of the movie. But I think that
Inglourious Basterds, that's the biggest one.
Yeah. And I think that Ridley Scott, he is kind of like just finding some cheap ways to make a cool story, like not a cool story, but the cheap ways to make the story however he wants it and to create these cool scenes. Because also Napoleon historically was super inaccurate, but there were these super cool scenes that were totally fake.
I mean, there's one thing in Gladiator that in the second one, Gladiator 2, that it's somehow accurate in history, but it's ridiculous how they do it, which is a naval battle inside the Colosseum. Now, this is true. They did it.
Yeah, they do.
But because we need to spice it up, because I don't know why.
Because they're Americans.
In the water, they put sharks.
Oh.
So if anybody falls off the ship, there's a shark that will kill them and eat them. It's like, this is so ridiculous.
So really. It's like Jaws meets Gladiator, you know, like
pretty much. and of course it's CGI and it's kind of crappy CGI.
Oh, really?
I understand the animal mixing, the famous tiger scenes in the original Gladiator. That was awesome, you know. But there's sharks now in the water in the Colosseum. Do you know how the hell do you bring a shark into the Colosseum, into the water? Because they did do naval battles, that's true. But sharks, it's the kind of thing, it's like, this isn't ridiculous enough. We need to make it more ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, cool fight scenes, sword scenes. That was, you know.
That was it. The CGI also was bad. I think bad CGI in such movies is the cringiest thing. Like if you get the poor CGI, the funniest movie with CGI that was supposed to be an apocalyptic movie but made me laugh like crazy because for me it's the best comedy movie ever. It's 2012. I don't know if you remember that movie. It's about the end of the world. Because they were supposed to, you know, the Mayan calendar was ending in that year. So it was like everybody was freaking out again for the end of the world. Nobody knew it was 2025 actually when it's going to end the world.
I checked.
And there is this crazy CGI and this crazy story that I was laughing the whole movie, but it was supposed to be, you know, a serious movie. And in the end, they go on these ships where they're going to, like, you know, kind of save part of the humanity. And there are all the main prime minister of the whole world. The Italian one dies because he was too late for his flight, like stereotypes. There was like a doppelganger of Merkel, like looking. This was so stupid, like super ridiculous. So it was funny. But I think that overall, this is happening because Hollywood has no courage to make anything completely new. They do it very rarely now because making a movie is so expensive and they cannot risk, you know, to lose money. And if they do a Gladiator, you know, everybody of our generation loved Gladiator. So I guess everybody loves Gladiator who watches it for the first time. But I was thinking, because I got feedback only from you about the movie and you said like what you just said now. But also I got feedback from my brother. He told me like, oh, my friends were in the cinemas, they watched Gladiator. They said it's not as great as the first one, but it was like super cool. And I was like, oh, maybe the movies also are changing because Gen Z is different. I don't know, maybe.
I mean, if you want visually striking, cool things, yeah, it's cool. It's visually striking. That's cool. But the story I find ridiculous. The dialogues are silly. I mean, the actors are really, really good, but no good actor can make those dialogues make sense because they're kind of silly in general. I mean, that's the thing. If you could get caught up by the impact of the visuals and this stuff and say, wow, this is cool.
And also, I don't think they reached that level of marketing where everybody's super hyped about the movie because, for example, I knew that it was coming out, but I remember the first time I heard about the remake was, I guess, less than a year ago. So I think they did it really quickly.
Yeah.
And I was like...
I think they had a little faith in it. There's this whole thing you mentioned about the risk. And it is true that movies right now, either they make $1 billion or if not, they're in trouble, economically speaking. But wouldn't you say that good movies are profitable?
Yeah, but you don't know if it's a good movie until it's not out there. Like, for example, Avatar, they spent a lot on Avatar, but they also promoted it so much.
Yeah.
So in the end, they ended up making money. But most of the movies, you don't know. I was thinking now, which are the best movies that I watched recently that were something new, something different. I'm so bad with titles. But there was one movie I watched a couple of years ago on Amazon Prime. It's an Amazon original movie with these two people that got stuck in the same day. Every day was repeating every single day. And they were there was only one person that crossed this portal and got stuck. So he knew every morning what was about to happen that day. And he could relive that day the way he wanted. And then one night, he took one of the other guests of this wedding, because it was a wedding day, crossed the portal with her, and now she was also stuck in the same day. So it was a super original story, but the set was super cheap. No, it was very original.
It's original and it isn't. There's a movie from Bill Murray called Groundhog Day, which is exactly that. But the context, it's him alone. There's not another person. So I get it that they're taking that concept and they're spicing it up a little bit, which is cool. But there's a movie, Groundhog Day. You haven't seen it. Maybe it's a different title in Italy. A guy who is trapped in the same day all the time. Yeah. And he can predict everything that's going to happen. And it's a movie from the 80s, I think.
Yeah, but they took this concept and it was more like of a metaphor of being stuck in your daily life. It was an interesting concept. And maybe if you take a concept from a movie that's maybe, I don't know, not so popular that everybody knows it, like it gets, again, very interesting.
Yeah. And not make Oceans 22, Oceans 29, Oceans 57. I don't know.
Oceans Ladies Edition.
Oceans Ladies Edition. Okay. Oh, that's the next ridiculous thing. Like, let's make every cool movie with a girl character now.
I love the joke of Shane Gillis about that movie, that the movie should have lasted 3 minutes because the girls just show up, show the boobs to the guard. And you can take it. Everything.
It's so silly and it's unoriginal and it's annoying. And there's so many cool women stories that they could just make. There's this woman from World War II called Violetta Savo. She is like James Bond, and she was actually also hot. So you got everything for a good movie here going on. And she was helping the French resistance. She was being a spy, killing Nazis. She has this... I don't know.
We gotta pitch. We gotta pitch this idea to a Hollywood producer.
I was gonna say it's historical, so I'm not spoiling anything. So in the end, she gets caught, but she gets caught in one of these situations where there's a last stand, where the Nazis are coming and somebody has to hold them off so that the French resistance, can get away. And in the end, they did capture her, and they sent her to a concentration camp, and it doesn't end well. But for a movie, this is amazing. You have the drama, you have the action, you have the valor and the courage from this woman. I mean, it's epic in every way. You could, if you want, if Tarantino does it, she wins in the end. If another director does it, she dies in the end. Who knows? What I mean is, there's so many good examples of women being awesome. Why do we need to make a guy movie and now the same shit but with women?
I remember the one, the title, because I told you I'm super bad with titles, about the black women that were behind the moon landing.
Hidden Figures.
Hidden Figures.
Yeah.
Super nice movie, very beautiful. Mm-hmm. You don't have to make up characters. You don't have to insert random black people in the movie or whatever. So I think a little bit of courage and a little bit of creativity, it's required if you want to do something new and something original. The other one that I liked lately from the last few years, I think it's called Triangle of Sadness.
Oh, I liked that a lot.
With the boat, where it makes you think about what are your actual skills if the world ends and you need to survive.
That was cool. In
a very primitive way. It was very disturbing in the end. The ending of that movie, it's very disturbing, and it's like, fuck.
And there's a lot of metaphors around that movie, apparently, that the people are kind of the countries. Like the drunk American captain is kind of the Americans right now.
Okay.
And the fucked up Russian oligarch is kind of Russia right now.
Who is the lady? Is she China?
Yeah.
She's China?
Yeah.
Okay.
The lady who can do everything herself.
And who is the pretty lady?
Yeah. I think is it Europe? It could be Europe.
Maybe. The whole Europe. And who is the idiot guy?
I don't remember.
Maybe it's Germany. That's going to be the next podcast.
More on that.
No. Because he was with the lady, with a pretty lady, but then he needed food once they were cast away from the world. And
could have been Europe. Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good movie, though. And it was not like... Again, if you have a good story, you don't need crazy cinematics and you don't need crazy CGI, because that movie didn't have anything of those crazy eyes. Mm-hmm. In many cases, also, the cinematography was not so great.
I mean, one of my favorite movies ever is just some people sitting on a sofa talking. It's called The Man from Earth. And maybe I'm being too freaky right now, but it's just people on a sofa. But the dialogue is so cool that you're hooked. Maybe not everybody. I am.
This is something I've never asked you. It came across my mind now.
No, I'm not gay.
But I know you're not gay, fortunately. I'm joking. I deny what I just said. I just got cancelled. No, it was a question which I was used to ask a lot back in the days when I was a single guy. So it's a great dates question. Are there any movies that you can pick, like top movies that you have watched that somehow have affected you or changed you as a person?
That changed me as a person?
Or I don't know, that stick with you, like that gave you some, like, there are books also. That was my other question. But like if there are movies or books that have like influenced you a lot, or in this case, movies.
Well, I could say it's kind of childish to say this, but
Avengers.
Yeah. No, as a kid, Lion King, actually. But when I was a child, because it's from the 90s, that film.
Okay, but no other movies?
The Lion King, and I mean, damn, I would have to think about it. I mean, well, I don't know, man. The Triangle. This one, The Man from Earth, I liked it a lot.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have two that are kind of cheesy, but although one won an Oscar. And another one that's a little bit mainstream, but still I liked it because I didn't know the story. No. So for me, one movie that really distilled for me greatly a concept, it's Into the Wild, because the last sentence, joy is true only when it's shared. It's something that for me it's very true in life. And there is another movie that it's called Silver Linings Playbook.
I haven't seen it.
It's with Bradley Cooper and Jennifer, what is she called? Lawrence, yeah. Jennifer Lawrence, where she has some sort of craziness after her husband died. And she's like hooking up with all men that she finds. And he has some sort of mental like he's mentally disturbed because he found his wife cheating on him with a colleague of his, and he smashed the guy almost to death. And in the whole movie, he tries to go back to his wife, and she is hooking up with everybody. And with the first time, she tells him, I can send you a letter. He wants to send a letter to his wife because he has a, restriction to get close to his wife.
Violence. Yeah.
Yes. So she tells him, look, I always do everything for everybody just like that. So this time you need to do something for me. I want you to participate into this dance competition with me. And if you do through the whole process, training and stuff, I'll in the end give the letter to your wife, to your ex-wife. And during the process, it's so crazy because they're both crazy. I think this is the great concept of the movie. They're both crazy. And at some point he realizes he likes her more than his wife. And he moves on. But I think it takes like the concept that two people that are together have to be the right crazy for each other. And we all are crazy somehow, just not that exaggerated crazy. And through that concept, so this is something that I liked. And the third movie I like a lot. It's called A Good Year. It's also a Ridley Scott movie with the gladiator guy. What is his name?
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe, where he's an investment banker in London and he inherits a big house in Provence, in France. And he has to go back to renovate it, sell it. He doesn't want to do anything with it, but he gets stuck there because he falls in a pool. He cannot get out to the airport. In the middle, there is some problem at work, and they force him in a 1 week holidays, which for investment banker in London, it's probably a bad thing. And during that,
the pain. Yeah. Oh no, I need to stay in the Provence.
Because they're so focused on the work, on being competitive on the stock market. And there he finds again the groove with the life of nature. And this is something that made me thought about like ambition, work. So these were my three movies that, I don't know, like from them I got some concept that stuck with me.
Don't you think lately, I do, about this movie that influenced me, but because of where the world is going, Idiocracy.
Yeah.
And this is not necessarily shitting on Trump or shitting on Kamala, but in one of the last Trump rallies before the election, they were in Madison Square Garden. And there's this moment with Hulk Hogan.
Oh, yeah.
Ripping off his shirt and going, brother! And it's like, this is Idiocracy. It's the same. The president in Idiocracy, it's an ex-wrestler. Terry Cruz's character, the black guy, it's like Dwayne Camacho, ex-wrestler, ex-porn star, president of the United States of America.
And also like it's something in between that movie and Don't Look Up. I've rewatched Don't Look Up lately. I don't know if you have watched that movie ever.
Yeah.
So it's like something in between those things. But yeah, so I think...
why don't we have cool movies anymore?
Why don't we have cool movies? Because of woke ideology.
The woke ideology.
the
wokesters.
The woke mind virus, as Elon Musk is used to call it.
I need to listen more interviews to get his cadence because he talks a bit like the woke.
Elon? Yeah.
He stutters a little bit. I'm not.
I don't know.
Him. I'm sure he's super capable. But
there are two options. Two options. Whether he's so smart that he cannot catch up with his speed of thought. Mm-hmm. Or he pretends very well to be very smart.
Let's assume that he's smart. He's done a lot.
He's very capable in certain areas. But I don't know. I think that a lot of it is propaganda. Like he's not that capable of everything. But yeah. So I think the woke mind virus is a problem. Also, one thing that made me reflect on this point is that lately I watched the Roadhouse movie. I don't know if you watch it on Amazon. So there's
the new one.
There's a new one with what is called the guy that plays Gene Gyllenhaal something.
Yes, Gyllenhaal. Yes, Gyllenhaal. Yeah.
That guy and Conor McGregor. So it's about this person that it's a fighter that he goes into this roadhouse to protect the roadhouse as this like pubs. Let's put it this way. And there are this local mob that it's trying to take over the business. And there's the old version of it with, I think, Patrick Swayze is the main character. in the new version.
Kicking everybody. Patrick Swayze. Yeah.
And Patrick Swayze in his version on the 80s, I think, only white people killing each other, blood flowing all over the place, like crazy ass shit. Educational. He kills a person. His girlfriend hugs him, thankfully.
Thank you for murdering that guy.
Yeah. No.
I know it's not that. I know.
Yeah, it's a crazy ass movie. And the new movie is we have an Asian, a black, a gay, a fat, a skinny, the super jack guy. We have Conor McGregor. So this diversity, there is no killing, almost no blood, not in that way. So I was like, God damn,
Okay, the problem is, because I get it. That representation for some people matters. That it used to be too much in the 80s.
But now it's too much in the other direction.
White guys, but nowadays it's just too much on the other direction. Yeah, and when it's forced, there's some part inside of you that notices. Some part inside of you is like, okay, yes, they had to have the boxes. Do we have the Asian guy? Check. Do we have the black guy? Check. Do we have the white guy? Check. Who is dumb and evil and a moron? The white guy? Yes. And there's too much of forcing these things. Anybody who's a minority is a saint and can do no wrong. And and sometimes that's the case. Sometimes that isn't. I get it when it's how it's done. Like I told you, the Gladiator movie, Macronus is not black, but Denzel is pretty cool. So
back in the day,
I'm okay with that. It depends a lot on when, on what, and.
It flipped so much back in the days. The minorities or the foreigners were the evil guys. I don't know, Rocky against the Russian. The Russian was depicted as this super evil guy. Then there was the other movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme, the kickboxer, where he fights a Asian guy in the end. Yeah. It's the mean guy.
It was mean looking.
Also, you say they were exaggerated, but we have we both have watched those movies like Rambo, Terminator, because when we were kids, those were the cool movies that you watch. So we have a comparison between how it was and how it is now. Now the younger generation, they don't have this comparison. I have a brother that's 10 years younger, so I try to tell him whenever there's a new movie, I always tell him watch the old movie too, so he knows how a movie was supposed to be before. Because now, if you think, also the heroes are always this beta male, I like to call them. We have Spider-Man, Tom Holland, which is this skinny guy. Then we have the guy from the last movie, the one with the worms, Dune, also kind of super feminine.
Charlemagne. Timothy Charlemagne, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't get the hype with this guy. I mean, he's he looks very, very fragile, very frail.
Yeah.
You could break him in two, but because he's in everywhere and in everything, then people sort of buy it, believe it.
I don't know.
He's I don't know. I don't see so much charisma. Also,
they slowly have started going this slippery slope. I remember that we had the heroes like Van Damme, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You gotta admit that was a bit too much.
Okay, but then we stepped a little bit downward with the guy from Twilight. I don't remember his name, Robert Pattinson, something like this. And now we have gone towards the super ultra beta male. The last two maybe superheroes that are okay are Superman. I don't know his name.
Henry Cavill,
and Thor. And Thor, I'm not gay, but I would let him blow me. So
that is that's very weak. And if I'm going all the way. I'm not gay either, but I would blow.
I'm not blowing.
I hope I never meet him now.
We have to do a compilation of all the people you would blow.
He's with a Spanish woman.
Yeah, she's Spanish.
Yes,
yeah.
Pataki. Yeah.
She married well. She married well. He did this thing on Disney called Limitless, where he's showing how you can fight aging and something. It was with the National Geographic thing.
Yes, step 1, be rich.
Yeah.
That's step 1.
There is this guy, this crazy...
And this goes also for the wife, Elsa Pataki. There's plenty of pictures of her before and after, and holy crap. There's the surgeon.
Yeah.
What an artist. He's the surgeon.
He's a not a Picasso, the opposite of Picasso.
Yes, exactly. Michelangelo. He's a sculptor. He should get half of her earnings, honestly.
There is like, I think the problem is that Hollywood tries to, promote and defend these values, this virtue signaling. But in the end of the day, they do propaganda for whatever they need to show. As you said, in the 80s, maybe America needed to show like strength for their adversary.
The bad guys were the commie Russians most of the time.
The Vietnamese, the Russians, the Japanese, there is like everybody. And now they show this virtue signaling about being respectful, protecting everybody, protecting diversity. A lot of gay movies, a little bit too many gay movies.
We got a lot of gays. I mean,
too many gays.
Everyone knows.
A little too much. Like, I don't know. Now they do this random, like, it's clearly promoted. Like, if you open Netflix, it's clearly a promotion of those things.
Dude, I started watching this series, which I really like because it's super creative and it's like a different thing called Chaos. It's about Greek mythology in the modern times. Really cool movie. It's not a movie, it's a series. Really cool, interesting, different. But everybody's gay. It's like, why is everybody gay? Oh my God. It's fine, you can be gay, but everybody?
Yeah, and they promote this diversity thing, this being nice to everybody, being eco-friendly.
Sorry, but no, I should correct myself. It is Greece. I mean, didn't they invent being gay? No?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, they invented it. I mean, imagine like going to war for weeks, no women, only like half naked.
Let's throw our spears. Did you bring all your arrows, Timothy?
Oh, you're doing it too well, bro.
Yes,
like I'm starting to have doubts.
It's all about clenching your butt.
Maybe you're Greek, maybe you like both.
Damn it.
The perfection of Greeks is like when you like both.
Okay, so bis are the ideal.
Bis are the ideals for Greeks. Yeah. Perfect if you like kids too. Don't we're crazy.
But the DI thing, it bugs me mostly with historical characters. And I know I said I like Macrinus in the Gladiator movie, and probably he wasn't black, but you got all this series, like in Netflix, you have Margaret Anjou, black woman, Viking Queen, black woman. You have, I don't know, all this kind of kings and Cleopatra, black lady. It's like, guys, can you relax it with the historical characters?
There's the meme, no? That like, I don't know, if Netflix were to do a biography about Elon Musk, there's like a cover of a fake show with a black dude that looks exactly like Elon Musk. Or
I saw it's an old meme, but the one of, if we reverse it and they say Netflix present the story of Barack Obama. And you see Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And they're the most hypocrite one because, first of all, they want to show all this like protection for everybody's opinion, everybody's character and blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, their environment of like work environment is the most toxic one. It's like everybody super competing in each other, trying to, put the... like to
cut the throat.
Not the cut the throat, to put stick in the spikes of the others, because they go on these different casts where they try to get casted for a movie. They compete. I mean, a lot of women now. There is the Me Too movement, but when I was a kid, it was kind of like a whisper around that. Once you go into the show business at some point, you gotta blow people or whatever. I don't say that it's correct, but I'm saying that, as Andrew Schultz says, Margot Robbie doesn't complain because she gets all the roles. So,
well, you're Italian, so here's the thing: how many times did Silvio get blown? Do you think?
Everybody, all the girls that you have ever seen in the last 30 years on his TVs, no matter if in Spain or in Italy or in France.
They all have blown Silvio. Damn it. Yeah.
Silvio has done threesomes with some of them. Like Silvio That's why he was voted so many times, because Italians respected his game. They respect a lot
the
big
game.
players.
Like, is it like we respect power? Like
we
you're in your
respect game.
80s and you sleep with 3 models at the same time.
And not
I
only
probably couldn't do that, so we respect you for that.
And not 3 models, like just 3 models. What a model!
What a model!
Yeah. So, yeah, and
here's one thing. I read this somewhere. Don't remember where. Doesn't matter. Why movies suck? That's another element. We mentioned about the risk. In the past, before streaming services, there was a way to control the risk, and it was called DVD sales. So movies would have 2 rounds of revenue. First the movie, tickets, popcorn, whatever. No, the popcorn's for the cinema. And then DVDs. And when the DVD came out, there would be another round of income for the movie. That died out with streaming services. So that means that now it's a one-hit win or lose. That's why the risk is higher, because they don't have that secondary round of revenue because of DVDs. What I don't understand in this whole mess is people consume media just as before, maybe probably more than before. It's just that the medium is not DVDs, it's different. So who's grabbing the cash here?
I think it's because now there is more creators. Like even we make a podcast, and people who watch the podcast, in the time they spend to watch us, they don't watch another movie.
So it gets diluted.
But also, I don't know, have you ever bought, like sometimes I rent a movie on Amazon Prime when it's a brand new movie that we like. And it's still much cheaper to rent it than going to the cinema, because if going to the cinema is like, I don't know, 24 euro for 2 people. And if the renting the movie, it's 8 euros and we watch it at home, I pay the 8 euros, watch it. I mean, I don't know. For example, a movie like Gladiator, now I know that I'm not going to go to the cinema. I will watch it maybe in a month when it's on Prime, and I'll be like, let's watch Gladiator, pay the 8 euros, watch it, and whenever it's for free, we're going to watch it again.
Even though it's the kind of movie that you would watch in the cinema because it's so spectacular. That's the thing.
Yeah?
Yeah. But
for me, sometimes, I don't know, I have a big TV, cozy room. I'm like, fuck it. I mean, cinema quality as a theater, like the place, I don't know how it is in the US, but here in Germany, the level has dropped a lot after the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like,
and the price gone up, so lose.
I don't know if the price has gone much up, but the rooms, the space. The last time we were in a normal cinema, like not a fancy one, was kind of stinky, kind of not super nice.
The homeless guy masturbating in the corner. That's not great either. It's, but you have to respect his commitment.
Yeah, and the other things, as I said, they fake on these values about like diversity. They fake all the ecology and racism because, like, I don't know. There was this video that all the Hollywood stars made doing the Black Lives Matter riots in black and white, where they were like, we won't admit it.
Oh yeah, I take responsibility.
I take responsibility.
Oh my God, that sucked so much.
My God, that was so bad.
They got so much backlash for that also, which is good.
Like also all the stuff that are coming out now with Diddy, P. Diddy. Doesn't look pretty.
Where has it been?
The thing is gonna just get released now. And I'm like,
I get it, the hypocrisy, because you mentioned the movie Don't Look Up. That's DiCaprio. There's the main character, main protagonist. And DiCaprio has gone places and given talks about the problem of climate change and the threat of climate change. Because Don't Look Up is about an asteroid, but it's climate change.
It's many
things.
It's a
metaphor.
It's climate change, it's pandemic, it's war, it's everything.
But the guy will go give a talk about climate change and how important it is, and then go in his super yacht away, or his private jet go away. It's like, bro,
private jet is the worst.
It's super yacht, private jet. I mean, I don't know.
Like always with under 25 years old girlfriends.
Yes, exactly. Which, look, I get it. I probably would do the same thing if I was him. Let's face it.
I don't know. It's a little bit exhausting.
Thing,
I don't know. It's exhausting. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I imagine like if I'm 50 with a I don't know, 19-year-old, 20-year-old. Okay, she looks good, but she's probably fucking annoying.
I thought you were talking about private jets. You're talking about bitches. No, I get it. Yeah.
You get that one too.
If you're 40 and you're with a 19-year-old girl, what the hell do you talk about?
You don't talk.
I see. Yeah.
But I mean, I respect the game of the ladies because they get paid nice vacations. For sure.
Yeah.
But they're also famous. Like,
now, let's face it, it's not his game. It's their game in this case. In this case, it's hers.
I mean,
he doesn't need
he's
game.
still a guy.
He just says, hi, I'm Leo.
That's
all his game. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is it. The peak of this hypocrisy, it's for me, Ellen DeGeneres, who announced she's moving to England because of Trump got elected.
Is she?
Like the knuckleheads on X, or formerly known as Twitter, saying like, yeah, because she's on the Diddy invitation.
She's running away.
She's running away.
Was there oil, baby oil?
I don't know. There is a video of him being on her show and she being like, nobody parties like Diddy, and I better say no more. Like, there are all these creepy videos.
Okay, here it comes. I'm going to defend Ellen. It's Ellen, not Helen. Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen DeGeneres got pretty much cancelled because they found out that she's kind of a meanie.
She's a real bitch.
A bit mean. She treats her staff like shit. And her show is all about good vibes, positivity, happiness. But she treats her staff like
and this
shit.
is how Hollywood it is. It's beautiful outside, rotten inside.
Here's my defense for her. When you're in a business like hers, where you have a top tier show, you need shit to work. And I can imagine if you're surrounded by people who are just not delivering and not doing the job properly and not giving the right results, you're going to lose your shit. You have to go, I don't know, live on TV in 60 minutes and some moron is like, where do I put the table? And it's like,
no.
Bitch, get your act together.
I don't think...
If you're running a tight ship, you need to be a little harsh.
Yes and no, because I don't think the people that work for her are crappy people, because once you get to be an author, a writer, a producer on her show, you're top notch already. I think that these people just lose touch with reality. First of all, their whole career is based on faking being somebody, and they have a shit ton of money, a shit ton of money. As you know, I was recently in Miami, and we did a boat tour of the most expensive mansions in these islands on Miami, including P. Diddy. Adios, P. Diddy. And
We'll miss you.
Like 40 million mansion. 40 million. If they buy a 40 million mansion, it means they can afford multiple of those.
Yeah.
And I think that...
And 40 is quite low, probably, for their setup.
I think 40, it's okay. It's not like the cheapest shit they get. But what do you do when you have a 40 million mansion? You hop off on one private jet to the other private jet. You have a mega yacht in front of your mansion. You're famous. You have everything. There is nothing left than do drugs. I don't know. Maybe if you're a positive figure, you'll become some of those, I don't know, like Bill Gates, that you do a lot of charity or stuff. But what do you do? Like, I mean, in our life, we have a lot of struggle. We have to, look forward to a next goal, or the uncertainty of the future drives you.
We need to hustle.
We need to try everything, and probably not going to achieve the same results. I don't know. These people I think they finish the game of life too early. So they're having fun.
Some people don't lose it entirely. They make, I don't know, animal shelters and charity stuff.
With 40
Bill Gates, let's face it, we're not sure how much of that is him putting money for taxes away, or what's going on there. We don't know really.
All of it is for taxes, but still, what he cannot spend his money till the rest of his life. Cannot be the drive of
or Bezos or Elon, they can't.
If Bezos or Gates or even Elon, now he has over $300 billion. If they give away 99% of their wealth, they will still be billionaire. like because they have over 100 billion.
Mm-hmm.
So they give away everything. They still are billionaires.
I'm going to say a pet peeve of mine, a little complaint. All these pricks talking about 300 billion, 200 billion. They don't have 300 billion or 200 billion.
Potentially.
They have the stock of this company, which is worth this amount. If the stock tomorrow was half price, then they have half that money. Yeah. So they don't have 300 billion.
That's why I don't think they keep count of it.
They're extremely wealthy for sure, and that's the thing. They use the stock as collateral, and then they pick on loans, and with those loans they manage their mony. But they're not 300 billion. I'll go to my grave with that sentence.
I would be in their position though.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, they have private jets. I'm sure about that. And but
do you have to? If anybody with a private jet can answer this question, do you have to go through airport security when you have a private jet?
Yeah, they have a special terminal. It's called a VIP terminal. I don't think they go through security like we do, because I mean, if they want to blow themselves up in midair, I don't think that's a problem.
But maybe somebody hijacks the airplane and does a 9/11. I don't know.
No, because I think the policy now is that as soon as you don't talk to the tower and you're moving in a weird position, they scramble the jets. Fuck you up.
That's probably true.
That's the new policy. I think the policy is like, we don't wait.
No, for sure. Definitely.
Or in Russia, they just use land-to-air missiles.
Like Guru Prigozhin.
Like,
I think there's video of the airplane without one wing going down.
Yeah, or one wing of the going down of the airplane. I don't know.
Or something like that. These wings, sometimes they just fall over. The wings of the airplanes,
Yeah.
How is it that Prigozhin... I don't understand his game. He doesn't have any game anymore. But when he was alive, what's his game? You're going to almost do a revolt against the big boss and you're going to survive it?
I don't understand Putin's game, bro. Like, what is he doing? Is he enjoying his life? Like, do you think Putin can enjoy life?
Probably not.
What does he do? He cannot do a podcast.
No. I mean, the guy's thinking about his legacy, that kind of stuff.
But why do you need that?
He's on that mindset. It's not like, yo, let's get some good steaks tonight. It's more, what is my legacy?
I think he didn't start being a president. I think those people don't start by thinking, I'm going to create a legacy. It just slowly goes in this direction where there is nothing else left than leaving a legacy. But he has already a legacy. He's like the longest ruling president of Russia ever. Yeah. He's like in history. Like, I don't know. But anyways, back to the cinema. I think the situation with the cinema is going to go even worse because we have a new player in the room. That's AI. AI, I'm hearing some stuff what it's going to be able to do in the future. I think we're not there yet. Not because I don't think they're going to create the AI that can do it, but I think they cannot create the facilities for AI so quickly because we need servers, we need chips, we need computational power. But they're saying that in the future, we're going to have a lot of AI created movies. Now they're starting doing special effects, scripts. So all these motherfuckers are starting to lose their jobs. So
Jesus, that's why there was this strike. Do you remember there was the writers' strike in Hollywood? It was a little bit because they could see the wolf coming. And they were thinking, we need to get a tight.
Dude, I haven't written an email in months.
Well, actually, I should say probably Gladiator 2 was written with ChatGPT. So
maybe
not always is that good.
No, but emails like for work are fine. I don't know how it does with stories and stuff. But I've seen people playing role games with ChatGPT online. I don't know. They start like we are in a
dungeon.
No, we are like, for example, we're just coming out of a bunker after the apocalypse of thermonuclear war. And then they start chatting.
I mean, it is scary. With the AI, can they do the following? Can they get, I don't know, Brad Pitt? They scan his face, they make him say 300 words, and then they store it. And then they can make Brad Pitt movies until the end of time.
They don't have to scan his words because they already have scanned his words.
They're everywhere, of course. Yeah.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
And the thing is that there was this scandal, right, where ChatGPT 4 that we have now, I think is the 4 version, now it can talk. And the first voice they created for ChatGPT was very similar to the Scarlett Johansson one. And they asked her if they can use her voice. She said no. And then they did a very similar voice. And then she was like, I'm going to sue you. And then they changed the voice. They wanted to use her voice because she is the voice of that movie, Her, I think. I never watched that movie.
With Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah. So that movie. And so for me, the perfect future of AI is when you enter Netflix, you type in, I want, I don't know, nice love comedy in New York for tonight to relax. They create you a perfect story, perfect cinematics, and you watch the movie tonight and you're good to go. And you can watch, because right now finding a movie on Netflix, I don't know. They always say the algorithms of YouTube, of social media, it's so well. I think Netflix is the only one that's not doing anything to hook you.
Chaos.
I don't know how it's your experience.
It's an argument at home to find a movie or a series.
Sometimes we take half an hour to find a movie. Because you go in comedies, it shows you the same movies. You go in action, it shows you the same movies. You go in drama, it shows you the same movies. Fuck you.
Also, there's a lot. And I don't know if the volume confuses you.
No, because it shows you always the same.
I moved in with my girl recently and looking for fucking furniture, I did notice when you go to a premium place, they have like 3 or 4 tables, no more. And you sort of appreciate, oh, that's a cool table, whatever. You go to this more, cheaper, let's say, smart shops. They have 700 tables there. And at some point, you're overwhelmed. You cannot handle it. You're like, fuck all these tables. I don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah, you have too
much input.
Too much choice. Yeah, this is the problem of choice. I agree with you. There is also the option of Netflix play something random for me.
That could suck, actually. That could suck.
I don't think the problem is that there is too much. I think the problem is how it's sorted. It always shows you the same shit, and I want to watch something else. So the good genre that has been always like a good place to go, it's based on true story.
Yeah.
Like what we watched lately was because I got a new Apple product. I got 3 months of Apple TV, which is probably the worst of the streaming services.
Okay.
But they do some stuff that are good. So we watched the We Crashed. It's about WeWork. I don't know if you know the story about this co-working space.
Yeah, it collapsed, right?
It still exists, but the story is very freaky. And it was super interesting to watch. But it's based on true story. So that's...
I go documentaries. Historical and documentaries. That stuff is cool.
But yeah, so I think Hollywood, it's fucked.
They're screwed. There will be another Hollywood, maybe. Maybe Texas, Houston. Houston will be the next. Even you have the age of Hollywood, the age of Houston.
No. You know where they produce a lot of movies? In the Atlanta.
Yeah, in
Georgia. Because they have nice...
Why? Weather?
I don't know why, but they have nice nature. They have some studios. CNN is there also. Like they if you check
that's a collapsing ship.
If you check in the end of a lot of movies, it says produced in Georgia.
Huh. Okay.
Check that out.
I mean, it's true that Hollywood has been the origin of so much film. And is it the weather as well?
I don't know, but they do.
Is it the Jews?
And on this note,
and we're cancelled again. We've been gone for a while. Now we're back and we're cancelled.
We're back. We're gonna be cancelled. We're just messing around. But I think we covered the topic Hollywood. So, friendly reminder for everybody: if you have come so far to the podcast, subscribe to the channel. Put a like under the video. Comment with your favorite movies, how they affected you, changed you, or other opinions about Hollywood. And I think...
And opinions on the Gladiator film. I want to know where I'm wrong.
That was it for this one. Bye, guys.